Okay, cool. So the recording has started. Today is June 2nd, 2023, Friday. And today we did have NFP, which released around 7:30 a.m. Central Time Zone. So to kind of give you guys an idea of where that is. That was right here, right? So you had that the high of the day was right here, and then price just kind of was going up and down for a couple hours. Obviously, since midnight through London, right, and then into New York, 7 a.m. we get that higher high push right here, confirming signs of strength. So now, me personally, what I was wanting to see is maybe that they continue to build this up to 104, right? And they basically try to go onto two screens. They basically took the wick lows that we spoke about earlier this week. If you guys were, on with this for, I think it was like Tuesday or something like that. They took these wick lows, right? So they could return that price back up to that previous, support, and then around this 104 level, which would be interesting. So for anybody that's just not an indice trader, right? I know a lot of us we trade indices the most, but if you're trading Euro USD, a good play to look at would be this, right? Because if we're gonna get more downside on dollar, we'll see it now, and if we're gonna get this little push up today, after the news, then obviously we're gonna see it here very soon through New York. But let's just say hypothetically we do get this push up. Well, when you look at Euro USD, you do already have that break of structure lower, and then the 4 hour has confirmed and closed lower lows. So for me, I would like to see a trade like this when you have a swing from this low here to this high, at least get back to that 50% of the swing or that previous area where there used to be like a resistance that could turn into like a support level, whatever, like how people trade that, right? I identify those levels. Obviously, how we look at them are imbalances, right? So when you look at an imbalance, something like this, right, this is a major imbalance right here. Yeah, when you look left, right, you see sideways price, right? So what you end up seeing actually is when they destroyed people here or they destroy people to the downside or et cetera, right? So for me with Euro USD, I personally am not looking to take a trade on it today. The only trade that I was personally looking at was to see the devaluation of dollar a little bit and see dollar retrace, right? Which would bring dollar back down to maybe 103, 102.50, 102. And so for me, the only trade that I seen personally that I thought was a good swing was when it came into this last down candle. You draw your fibs from these swing lows to the swing highs, and you had a 78.6 retracement, 71% retracement, and a nice bullish push up since. So if you don't have a long since then maybe you're trying to position yourself in a good spot to take this higher if you're going to see dollar get a little bit weaker. Okay. So now I want to move over to NAS, right? I'm going to focus just on NAS first. Let's look at all the indices and then we'll focus on NAS. So looking at all three of them, right? Dow here on the far left, we have prices just running up like crazy, right? Making higher highs and higher lows. And since the news, we had that huge push up. So now you got to ask yourself after news, right? Where's the money, right? And so for Dow, the liquidity is going to be, right, is going to be right here where this wick is, right? Because people at 7:30 got the best, somehow they got the best buy, right? And, it just goes into profit. You got to ask yourself, where are they moving their stops? Okay. So looking at all three, they do look relatively bullish. When you look at a higher time frame, 4 hour Dow, if you look left, it looks like to me that we have a higher chance to go higher to 33 or 33.4, right? When you really look at this last up candle right here, it just looks more than likely to me to go higher there, right? And to continue going in that favor. And then 4 hour here with S&P, right? You can kind of see that we're getting a 4 hour bullish push. Looking at its daily, right? You can see that it's still got some room to go. I know it's kind of hard to see probably. Let me see here. Still got some room to go right into that last up candle area. So for me, I don't want to, I don't really see them going lower today. But there could be divergences. Who knows, right? And it's not really about if they're going to go higher, if they're going to go lower. It really comes down to, is the setup there, right? Is the setup going to be there? So focusing just on NAS here really quick. I'm going to bring over what I focus on the most, which is going to be the higher time frames, right? So when you really dive into this thing and you look at the weekly and where we're at, right? This weekly is, with 1 day left. We're printing bullish. It's getting ready to finish a bullish week, right? And then you drop down into this daily, right? We're still already printing another bullish day, right? So yesterday was a bullish day. Today's looking like it's going to go from, to me, 14.5 to 14.8, right? So I'm going to personally, right as of now, and like I said, this could change based off something I see later, but I really would like to see prices get up to 14.8. And reason being is when you look at the monthly, right? You guys looking at the monthly here to the left. As you guys can see, this is all fractal, right? So like when I drop into the weekly here and you can see the monthly, you can see we're coming into the last up candle. There's the 50%, and then there's the imbalance with the wicks above it at 15.2, right? So my target, before I let go of some of my longs from March, right? Like somewhere in here, I was targeting this area right here. So either here's what my mind's kind of set on. Either we're gonna come up into this candle here and show some distribution, but as of right now, 4 hour, daily, etc., it looks like we're looking to go higher. So we could show distribution in this area, or we're coming for this 15,200 area. Okay, so that's like my higher time frame bias of it. And let me turn this off really quick. So month, I need weekly, daily, 4 hour. Okay. So now, like I said, now jumping into like a intraday, right? You ask yourself, from yesterday they built up, an amazing base right here of liquidity. So to me, the first thing, I ask myself is, what are these? These are stop losses, right? So now we have already made the push higher than this actual candle closure, but we now have made so much liquidity. If you guys can see, they're equal highs. If you look to the right, going here. So if we were to find maybe a buy position today at New York and it works out in our favor, right, from the, off out the gate, I would like to see prices rise in those higher time frames to hit those, 14.8s and et cetera over time. Now, if we start getting distribution right at the open, me personally, I always like to target Asian liquidity and then hold numbers below. So see what time it is. So 25, I'll be done talking. So yeah, you guys can kind of see, like, I have this area marked because this is where the stop losses are. Also as well, 7:30 news, right? You got to ask yourself where most people, if they took a short in this area here, they probably put their stops here, or they put their stops right up in here, right? And so now you can kind of see when you study this 15 and 5 minute, how the Asian liquidity is still open, right? The Asian liquidity is still open, but they're failing to go lower. Like, they are making equal lows. I don't know if you guys can notice this low right here and this low right here being relatively equal, which shows me more than likely they could push this up. So what I would anticipate with those higher time frame biases, and with this liquidity open and Asian not really being attacked, is maybe a fast move down at New York that gives you an opportunity to play a point of interest with about a 20-point risk to that low to then target this high. Or worst case, if you get in somewhere in here and you have a 15-point risk, right? 15 for 45s at 1 to 3, right? So guys, you just want to keep framing up moves that put you in probabilities to, where you're up 3% or, almost 5% of your account. And if you can do that in a session, that's amazing. All right. So that's my breakdown as of right now. There's nothing that's really just on the table until it really just presents itself. So 8:25 till about 8:30, I'll take some notes. You don't have to take a trade right at 8:30. A lot of times I take it at 8:33 or at that first 5 minute close or that first 15-minute close. So the first 5 minute close is like 8:35. The first 15-minute close is 8:45, and then another pivotal moment is going to be 9 a.m. Right. So as of right now, I don't have anything that I just planned out that I want. So we'll see how it goes. So I appreciate you guys hopping on and trading with me. This is the only things that I personally look at: dollar, euro, and indices. So I look at gold, I look at oil, I look at all these here. If you look to the right, I look at everything that's in this list for the world markets, right? And then also, like, I have my crypto folders and stuff like that. But in my futures folders and stuff. So I need to update the futures folder, but this is what I trade, right? And this is the correlation assets that I look for and look for setups on. So if you have any questions about any of these assets, I would have some kind of expertise in them because I've traded them for a few years now. But mostly these ones right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just lock in here, and I will see you guys on the other side. If you have any questions, guys, from this point, just drop them in the chat, please. Thank you. And the recording has to go to. So with about 5 minutes out, I mean, I was looking at this potentially before the news to maybe find a short down. And obviously I'm glad I didn't because that would have been short-lived. So let's see if they run this liquidity before the New York Open. And if they do run that liquidity before the New York Open, I like to play above ranges or below. So I would like to play above this range. So what I'm basically saying is if price gets above this red level and then starts to show distribution, then I would look to play it. All right. But I don't want to play below this red line. So and prices might have already taken off in the daily open, which happened last Friday. So by the time I took a trade, it was already too late, honestly. But today, I think we'll still find something. Just gonna be patient, especially if they take the 540 highs. That'll be exciting. I like to look at all three as we're coming into the open. As you guys can see, SP pushing higher high, Dow Jones pushing higher high, and then we're stuck in like this range here with NAS. So nothing that's like screaming out to me right now. Okay, about a minute. And then just get ready to have the New York Open marked here. And this isn't the candle, I'm just getting the color ready so I don't have to redo it. New York Open. It's a nice little push to start. So I don't see anything that's just like I said that I'm like, oh yeah, I like this. I mean, I do like how it's coming into this 5 minute, but not with the equal highs above it. So the other two are bullish, as you guys can see off right out the gate. So once we run this liquidity, there may be an opportunity to short this position and attack Asian liquidity. Mm-hmm. Those are flying. So just being patient. Dollar's showing a lot of weakness right now. Let me look at it again here. Dollar showing a lot of weakness. The daily is, really starting to print out and look pretty nice. You guys can see this here. All right, so this weakness now is starting to, really fall in, which could be one of the reasons why this is pushing these so much higher. And so that's why I was saying it's so tricky on Euro USD that's why I don't take trades unless it's like really, really nice. Like I only would have took this trade if it was down here. And then the NAS is running. So I would say if you had that buy, if you were at that 745, that's not a bad position. But let's keep watching here. It really doesn't matter to me now unless they all start breaking down, because now you have targets. You have this equal lows, you have daily open to reference, and then you have Asian liquidity. So hypothetically, let's say it went from there to there, that's a good trade. But until the market stops, you can't really just make a decision off of just, oh, I'm gonna just take the trade. So wait for timing, right? Here, let's see what 8:33 gives us, 8:35. If there's nothing, then I pick up a book and I read till 8:45. All right. It's got to be clear. Ooh, they're running those. A little upset there. Especially how they built it up yesterday. But they're pushing fast, right? In the first 3 minutes, let's just say from the open, we've already went 64 points, right? So every minute that opens is bullish. So look what level we're coming to, right? 14,580 level above the highs, right? Above the previous range. So let's watch this 5 minute close. Marking 14.6. Whew, they are running. Dow going crazy right here. SP going crazy. think Dow from Nas is going right now. So unless you have long positions, like I have some older ones, but they're not like full lot size. And that's on personal, not funded. So we did bag this one, right? As you guys can see. So what's really important when previous, let's just say stops or set, whatever you want to call them, resistance, I like to put that into the future, right? Because when price comes back down, that's going to be my alert, right? Because price is already showing me it wants to keep going bullish. So if price was to come back down below this level and into the New York Open, they may hold that level, but it depends on how they come back down. It's Friday, so I would anticipate that there's that 5 minute close. I would anticipate that once if it does start breaking down, that once we take that position, that's it. Like I'm not trying to take another one. So, but to think about it from yesterday, I mean, price has ran 360, 336 points. I mean, that's crazy. So, all right. I got a text my friend. He said that I took it at 35. Nice. I mean, hey, do what you got to do. I want to see a little bit more on the 1 minute. So if they can start breaking down, I'll show you guys here on the 1 minute and close lower, then that could be good. But if not, then it can continue higher because it hasn't really showed a sign yet. But that could be a good area with the timing. Take a look at the other three. Other two are super bullish. Look at that. So I'm gonna focus just here on Nas. SP and Dow look pretty relentless in the 15. So the only one that's kind of halted at all is Nas. So coming into 840, we'll see SP's really bullish still. So we'll see. So this 5 minute close will be very interesting here. The other two are really strong. And this is kind of like what I was saying with that 35. When you take it, if you took it at 35, you gotta wait till that 1 minute closes lower, right? Because that 1 minute hasn't really closed lower yet to give you enough. Like it did a little bit right here, but you need more than that to kind of show you, I believe. So nothing yet. So look at Euro here. Oops. And these are just screaming right now. So I mean, like I said, unless you have those buy positions from the 4 hour, then you're kind of just waiting for 45. Wow, S&P is going crazy. And this was pretty much anticipated, I will say, for Nas. I was wanting to see um 14.8 get, revisited, but wow, not like this. Mhm. So I'm just taking off this really quick. 13.6. Okay. So another thing I like to watch is above or below hold levels. So right, we go right above 14.6, or we'll stay right below it, or we'll go a little bit above it, and we'll see what happens. But if we just kind of reject away from it, we shall see. Because the higher time frames are still showing me pretty bully. So take a look at all three. Dow since 8:30, since the New York Open, she's already went 160 points. So if you did take a buy position on any of those, especially Dow, and you haven't taken some partials, you're tripping. So this 1 minute price is pretty interesting here on Nas. We'll see if they start closing lower. And remember, if you take entries in those areas, you're trying to get back down to points of interest where people bought. If you do look for a short in that position. So New York opens like 75 points away, London's 100, and the daily lows are 120 plus. So I think that 1 minute was it, guys. I will say I'm marking it up on another window over here, and I think that was the push up. It'll get us back to the red line, possibly. Take a look at all three. They're still pretty bullish on the others, so really watching this 5 minute here open. So yeah, like I said, if it can go from that 1 minute area that we just seen, say you took a short in that 45 area, then you're trying to get down here, and by now, if you took it up here, you're protected yourself, or you can partial the position. It's up to you, or go break even if you have a fat position on. Take a look at the other three, and like I said, Nas is coming down nice, so. And then remember, if you have targets, you have the daily open, you have Asian liquidity. So once price comes back to revisit the previous, let's just say resistance, you could see buyers try to come in because of that support at New York here. So just be wary. This is the area I was talking about right here. So I want to see it get to here for my max position for today, and I'm out of here. I did take a small position on that 1 minute at that last 15 minutes. You guys know that's when we take the trades. I wasn't able to. I need to do the recording on the 1 minute for you guys though, because that's where I do a lot of the markups. But I want you guys to be able to see everything, honestly. So now you're seeing weakness out of SP. Look how fast it's crushing down now to the Asian liquidity. So you guys can see what I'm trying to show you guys is how targets really work. You see what I mean? These targets are going to continue to present themselves to you. You play down to these areas. Like this could be just enough for you right here, right? On a 1 minute time frame, right? With NAS. If you took the short, fast push up, 44, right? Your stop was at the high, 10 points for here. You're looking good, you know? You don't need much more than that. Now you can partial that position out 80% or half or whatever you want to do and let the rest ride to your take profits. But I will say when price comes into this area, which you see guys see Dow's running, SP showing a little bit of weakness, but look what's happening at the New York Open. All right. So just watch what they do here. Remember, finishing the week at 3% of your account is amazing, guys. Like, no, no, that. Like, that's like simply amazing. Now, here's the pop up. So they could run this all the way back up. Let me show you guys this to take out the shorts, right? 1 minute time frame. You guys kind of see how it's already engulfing, right? But I would have to see candle closures above that previous line that was resistance, right? If I don't see that, then I don't even worry about it. And I continue to look at the higher time frames, like the 4 hour, just to kind of bring that back over to show you. These are like if this trade works out from this area, I could see them going back to 14.2. So maybe you take a partial and you start attacking 14.2, and every time you take a partial on shorts, you would attack like a higher time frame level. Is it for sure gonna go there? No idea. But the other thing I want to bring over really quick is US dollar, right? You had the daily open, price shot up, started showing signs of strength, and now it's starting to push higher. So what's that mean for Euro USD? Lower low, lower high, MIDI. All right. So I'm going to continue to hold the higher position on this. And I've partialed some of it as well. So just kind of be transparent there. So all before 9. That's what I like to see. Feeling like Lambo Raul today, guys. I got 100 a point on this. Let's go. For real, for real. Wow, she's fallen dramatically. So even after the partial, we're running, you know. What a Friday, guys. You guys see the look. This is a good recording. You guys see the you guys see the targets. All right. Let's take a look at the other indices. Dow going crazy, so the divergence is real. So guys, there might be a beautiful buy that presents itself, but like I said, guys, I'm going to continue to look for these positions where I'm looking right now and trailing my stop with what I have. Now, I don't like when price gets into these levels, but I'm going to stop talking because when I start talking too much, I make decisions and I already have what I want. So I'm going to wait for this, guys. Come on, Asian liquidity. Load up. This would be amazing for Friday too if they do. Remember, guys, like I was showing you, they came right close to the whole level and failed. Just to give you guys just some understanding here, some context on 1 minute though. This is what you're looking at. You have your last time candle, you have your fast push up, and you have imbalances right here. So price could start finding its way up very quickly. But personally, I don't want that to happen, but I'm just saying that's what could happen in this area as well. But with Asian liquidity still open, I would like them to come run it. But Dow has showed no signs of bearish since only SP. So right now it's hitting that New York Open, looking pretty good. So I'm just going to continue to watch right now. Just want to show you guys what I'm looking at here. Lower low, right? Lower high, and hopefully you can get the rejection and close lower here fast. Otherwise, this is like, excuse me. Otherwise, this is price testing, right? So right now I'm pretty confident that it continues lower, but let's watch the 5 minute close, okay? Because when you look at a 5 minute or the 15, this is your low, this is your high, right? So the best position is happening right now if it's going to go higher. So I hope they just wipe the daily lows. But they'll do what they want. So I've secured about 2% of my account today. So the rest will ride. See what we get at 9. Nice pop up. So watching this 1 minute here, right? Lower low, lower high, rejected the New York Open. So just want to see this ride off into the sunset. Now, my ultimate target now, because I've already secured the bag of what I want, is going to be the market open, right? But I'm going to hold this trade until this level here with that partial that I have left on, right? 14,220s if you can get there, right? But market open would be amazing. So on a Friday, take a look at all three. Dow still screaming like Willie Beeman. SP looking really good with us right now. And then take a look at Euro. Nice breakdown here. You guys see what I mean? How easy it is to see once you're focused on it. Lower low, lower high, lower low, fast push up candle, death. Where does it go to? Liquidity of trendline traders. All right. And so dollar was pretty clean today, to be honest. Let's look at GU. Everybody's long on GU right now from right here. So this is probably the first day that people started, maybe paying themselves. Okay, back to indices here. Looking good on NAS. If we can fail 14,500, then I think we get to 14,400 for sure. And that could, that's a phenomenal trade for some of you guys. 14,580 is basically to 14,400, 180 points on the dash. Come on. It looks good, guys, here in the 1 minute. Guys and gals. I'll show you here. 1 minute, 5 minute. Asian liquidity open. Dollar going bullish. Really good sign. SP falling with us. Let's go. Let's go. All right. No reason to get excited, guys. I've already paid myself, so there should be really no emotion, and winning or losing is something that I've learned in May. This is just another day, another win that we're used to experiencing. Yes, sir. So this is really good here, what we're seeing. Good breakdown from that 5 and 1 minute. Take a look at the other indices. SP looking really good, right? Now I want to give you guys a glimpse into the 1 hours of all of them, right? And how that fractalization is really looking. Okay. So this looks a lot better to get to market open than anything right now, right? Or at least 14.4 below this wick. Y'all see that? So, but let me tell you guys another secret, right? When you have the 15-minute time frame on NAS and you're looking left, there's your down candle, there's your Asian liquidity. Guys, don't put it past them to buy this up right under Asian liquidity. Okay? Just remember what I said, right? Because what will happen is essentially, I don't draw trend lines. I'm just showing you what could happen is they can hold that level and then they come for this wick. Okay? But I'd like to see them come for that Asian liquidity before anything. So in a position like this, I've already partialed, right? The position enough to pay me about 3% of my account. And so now all it's about is trailing my stop of what I have left to reasonable spots. Okay. So if they really run this from 14,580 today down to 14, let's just say 2, right? 14,250, that's going to be crazy. I probably won't even trade like till I don't even know. I don't even know if I'll trade that much next week at that point, honestly, guys. But I'll definitely run some one-on-one calls. So 9 a.m. there it is. And that open was pretty violent. Asian liquidity is still open on NAS. Couldn't tell you on SP. Starting to finally see weakness on Dow a little bit. But like I said, guys, I want them to come grab that Asian liquidity really quick. Probably be out of here around 9:15 today, unless they just run this back up very quickly. Get a glimpse of that 1 minute. So essentially, when I took the trade, it was 8:44. I had got basically I was looking for 3, 6, or 9 numbers, but more importantly, what I look for is to position myself inside that last up candle. So the timing was right, right, and then the risk for me was I did 15-point risk personally, and then 15 for 45 is a 1 to 3. So I was able to decide if I want to take something there. Then when I got to 1 to 5, I was able to actually at the New York Open because I was anticipating a bounce. That's where I actually partialed some of it, and then I let the rest ride, if that makes sense. So that's pretty much what I'm seeing. Just to kind of help you guys out. That helps. So look, we're taking the Asian liquidity. Look at the other three. You are seeing weakness now, finally, out of these. So that's a good sign. And then what you want to see now is that EU continue bear here on the 1 hour, because that means obviously that your dollar is going higher. So from the 584s, we're definitely over 100 plus points in profit on that. Now again, let me track that down. So like I said, guys, they took that Asian liquidity. That pierce into it is them taking it, right? So now they could literally run this price up right after that. So you either have the opportunity right now to say trail your risk to a certain area, take what you have for the day because you're probably up a bag. You could hedge into the position on the 1 minute and hold your stop loss break even, right? You could be buying right here, putting your stop about 15 points and then targeting, back up into the imbalance areas. Or like I said, you just pull it for the day and you're done. It's up to you. But for me, I've parceled out a pretty good amount. So it just makes sense for me to either hold the position or I could partial again or something. But I wouldn't buy or do anything like that right now, personally. I don't want to buy at the height of the swings, even if it was the one that works. I don't care. So, and then something I want to bring to y'all's attention really quick that I'm looking at on a higher time frame is going to be the 4 hour, right? This 4 hour has 2 hours until it closes. So 1 hour, that could easily come for this wick. But what you're going to want to see is how they play this imbalance here on the 1 minute, 5 minute. Okay. So if they come up and just tap these areas and fail to go higher, then they'll probably push it lower. But if not, then they could start buying off of that Asian liquidity. So I like to use 5-minute candles for my stops or to trail them to. So maybe the next, like say you entered at 580, look at the next 5-minute candles open. So for example, say you entered up in here, the next 5-minute candles open is right there. You could trail your wrist to there if you like for your partial, or you could trail it to here. I don't want to trail it inside of an imbalance. Okay. And I also want to take myself out of amazing positions. So this is a good setup, guys. We'll see where we're at by 9:15, but this is a pretty clean, I would say markup and execution. Let's take a look at the other indices really quick. So that would make me partial even more, just being honest, seeing the other ones doing that. But it's up to you guys. I would rather take a re-entry at another time. Okay, so now just to identify a couple things before I hop off here. You have your fast push-up candle. Ask yourself, where are people's stop losses? Right? Where are people's stops? Right? At wicks. Right? And if you take a look at the 1 minute, you can see obviously where, when I'm looking at that bubble, you have that high, that up thrust, and then the drip where we sold at that timing. So now what you got to see is just like all the stops really rest in this area. Like this is where they're at, right? And then inside of like the imbalance, and as it's going down, people are pressing sell, 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 and capping off their trades with their stop losses. So uh, we'll see. But I like to make less decisions in the market right now. Okay. That's just where I'm at with it. I'd rather make just a few. And if those few do me well, then awesome. Take a look at the other indices here in this 15-minute close. Let's see. Obviously very bullish here on Dow. Which is crazy. Let me look at that daily on Dow real quick. Okay, that makes more sense because I was like, yo, in the monthly here. So it's kind of an arranging market. It's a little bit more difficult, I would say, to personally just be taking positions unless you're only trading Dow. I mean, Dow ran off. So, and like I said, for this, I personally like to I have my partial still left up here, the very small window. And I'm targeting market open and these lows still. Like for me, my eyes go to wicks. So no matter what, I see them coming for this wick right here and touching this whole level 14.4. Then when you look at the next spot, you had a whole bunch of price, pretty healthy lower low, lower highs, and then price goes sideways and pushes up and expands and destroys a lot of shorts, right? So this is a major imbalance under this wick right here as well. Right now, for some reason, on the 5 minute and 15, if they hold, they could easily come back for the sellers who don't have any kind of profit taking system. So you have to be ready for anything, honestly. But don't get yourself like on like sometimes when I lose trades on NAS is like I'm trying to sell into a bullish market. Um, so if you're on Dow and you're taking trades today thinking it's gonna short, don't just take a trade because you think something's gonna happen. You're gonna have to really have something like one of my good business partners, I think he's on here, Chad, we were talking the other day. But you need that signal, right? You need that fast push, that step that closes below, showing people are going to press the sell, sell, sell. Prices will come back up. Stop loss placement, entry MIDI, right? TP1 right here should be 1 to 3, and that can be what was I trying to do? Oh, all I. That can be inverted too. So down goes higher, right? There's your entry, et cetera, et cetera. So that's probably going to be it for me, guys, today, because like I said, I've hit my goal for the day. Price is starting to show a little bit of signs of strength after tapping into that specific area that we spoke about. And that makes sense. I mean, that's like clockwork, right? It makes a lot of sense. And if you can start really reading the price action here on the 1 minute, what you got was this fast, just like we just talked about, right? If you're looking for a buy, yeah, prices going lower, just like this, right? And then what you get? You got a fast push up, fast push up. But then where did price come back down to? The daily open, right? So if you take an entry, your stop would go here, and you would anticipate that your TP, like when it comes back down, that this TP right here is when you hit is going to get you relatively a 1 to 3. So basically, like if you took a trade, for example, right in here under the daily open, put your stop at this low, you would want this, right, relatively to be at least a 1 to 3, maybe even a 1 to 5 if you map it up right. Right. To give you guys an example again, say you have this, price comes back, look at the timing right here, 9:10, perfect timing, first few minutes of the hour. Put your stop at the low, 20-point risk, and then already you're getting a 1 to 3, just getting to where I say, pretty much there, right? The point of interest. So that's it for me today, guys. I mean, I let the rest ride. I don't really care what happens. I've done what I need to do today. So let me erase some of these things. If you guys have any questions about in the reporting side of this, I'm going to drop this on Telegram. But let me end the recording, and then if anybody here has any questions, then we can do that.